Hello everyone. In this lecture, we will discuss data transmission speed. What is data transmission speed? Let us consider two computers. So, you need to send a message from one computer to another computer. Now, the data transmission speed is the ratio of the total amount of digital data that is transported between two sites. That means from one computer to another computer in a predetermined amount of time. It is also called data transfer rate. That means if you suppose you say like I have 1 second of time. So in that unit of time, how much data you are sending. So that will be the data transfer rate. Okay. So where the 2 points can be, for example, two computers connected to a network, or the transfer of data between a thumb drive and a hard drive. So in that case, we will just see how much data is sent, okay, between 2 points in some unit of time. That will become DTR, also called data transfer rate. So actually data transfer rate is the measurement of how quickly data can be sent or received between two network components. So network components, say two computers or any other networking device. So that is the thing. So either bits per second or bytes per second are used to quantify it. That means the unit of data transfer rate is bits per second or bytes per second. You might have heard about the terms kbps, like kilobits per second, mbps, megabyte per second. So say megabits per second or megabytes per second. These all are nothing but units of measurement that are commonly used for data transfer rate. So when uploading or downloading something, you have typically seen kbps. If B is capital, then you can say kilobytes, and if B is small, you can say kilobits. So this is the unit of the data transfer rate. So you might have seen, like at your home, you have internet, and you say my internet speed is this much megabytes per second, this much mbps, or this much gbps. So these are nothing but units of data transfer rate. So at 14 terabits per second, Japan has demonstrated the fastest data transport rate utilizing single optical fiber cable. So which country has demonstrated the fastest data transport rate? Japan. So, and what is that data transport rate? That is 14 terabits per second. Okay. So units are like this. Okay, megabits, kilobits, megabits. Okay, then gigabits. Then again you can say terabits and so on. So this way. Okay, you can measure the speed. So we'll go to the next slide. Now in the modern world, data transport rate is crucial because of the following reasons. Why crucial? Because nowadays you might have seen the world has changed. So this whole world is dependent upon huge reservoir or huge database, okay, or huge data. So without data, nothing can happen in this world nowadays, because like world has become dependent on huge data, and you need to exchange those data to carry on your work. Suppose I can give you one example. Suppose you want to reserve a like seat in a train. Okay, so for that there is a system, okay, or there is a website. Okay, so with using that website you can book your tickets and so on. So millions of people are there in this country who are using this site for booking their tickets. So huge exchange of data is going on here. Okay, so you need, that system needs to communicate or needs to send huge amount of data. So if speed of the communication or like speed of sending data is slow, then it will become very difficult for the people to use that system. Okay, so then the service will get interrupted. So we need uninterrupted and smooth service. For that it is very important to have a good speed of data transmission. Okay, so it directly affects a person's business, particularly if they offer online services, since uninterrupted service provision requires a high data transmission rate. So this thing you have to keep in mind. that data transmission rate nowadays is very important. Suppose I will give you another small example. Suppose you are sending a message. You have seen to carry on any work, like any important work where you need to exchange huge amount of data, you need a good data transmission speed. So when carrying out intricate operations like online streaming, making video calls, or any other high priority activity, data transmission rate is extremely crucial. So I had already given you the example of WhatsApp. So in WhatsApp, suppose you are chatting with your friend, you might have seen that, like if your service is interrupted, that means if it is very slow, that means you are sending a message and for the answer you have to wait for 5 minutes, then you will not use that application because you will get frustrated, okay, with that type of service. So why that might be because of slow data transmission rate. So that is why data transmission rate is very important. Okay, so an additional factor, okay, in evaluating various technologies and devices is data transfer rate. Okay, so data transmission rate is helpful for making improvements since it provides information how well a system and networking are performing. So there might be some things that might occur, okay, when you are transmitting data, like when you are sending huge amount of data and the media or the channel, okay, that you are using for transmitting that huge amount of data. So in that case, what can happen? In that case, like bottlenecks may be formed. Why bottlenecks? I'll give you one example. Suppose a door is there in that and using that door only one person can enter into the room. Okay, suppose many people are trying to access that door to enter into that room at a time, then bottlenecks will be formed. Okay, because capacity of that door is only one, but many people are trying to enter, okay, using that door. So bottlenecks will be formed and that will create congestion. So same thing can happen here in like computer networks also. So when network congestions will occur, when using a limited bandwidth, you are trying to send huge amount of data. So that is the concept of actually network congestion. Okay, so when a user transmits data more quickly than the network can handle, a situation known as network congestion that may occur. Okay, so in that case also data transfer rate will get impacted when network resources are used to their fullest extent. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. What is there in the next slide? Let us see. So why network congestion will be created? Because of many reasons. So I'll discuss 3 reasons here. Number 1, packet loss. So when data packets means what? You write a message, computer network will break, in computer network that message will be fragmented into different packets, like small packets, so that it can travel smoothly. Okay, and at the sender's end and at the receiver end, that message will be reassembled to form the origin. That packets will be reassembled to form the original message. So when a data packet reaches its expiration time or reaches its hop limit, it automatically drops, causing packet loss due to network congestion. What is expiration time? I will tell you. When you transmit a data, a time will be given, okay, to that data packet. That means you will be you will be available in the network for only this amount of time. If you cross that amount of time, that will be discarded. Okay, that means no packet will dominate the bandwidth, okay, or the network communication line, because if one packet will take huge amount of time, then what will happen about other packets? Okay, let us take an example of train. Suppose if one train, okay, is taking huge amount of time, okay, in between 2 stations, then other trains will get delayed. Okay, so we need to do one thing. That means we will give a limited amount of time for that train to cross that section, so that other trains may enter. Okay, so that kind of thing is here also. We will not allow a packet to stay in the network for a long time, so we'll discard it after it will reach its expiry time. Okay, another is hop limits. That means one packet is allowed, okay, to cross like a limited number of hops, means routers or stations. Okay, if it crosses the hop, it is automatically dropped. So when a packet is dropped, it will be retransmitted. So when retransmitted packets will okay, create congestion. That means lot many data packets will be there, line is limited. Okay, so what will happen, like lot many trains are running in a route. Okay, understood. So that time what will happen, congestion will occur in that. Next is increase in delay. When a packet is lost, the sender does not receive an acknowledgement. So sender will do what, like it will reset the packet. As a result, sender must send fresh data packets after a timeout period, so which lengthens the communication delay. So this might also create congestion. Then network termination, too many packets are lost as a result of network congestion, okay, causing connection problems and dropping of sessions. So when a website takes too long to react to messages, a session timeout notice will appear on the screen. So these all are the reasons that will create congestion. So next is client or server condition. So this indicates that client or server should be in good working order and satisfy all the requirements for creating better network. That means client and server system should be in good condition. So it should be equipped with newest software and all the required hardware. Okay. So if the minimum CPU, RAM and other components do not meet the specified minimum requirements, the data transfer rate will undoubtedly be impacted. That means you will have a slow data transfer rate. So you need to avoid that type of like conditions. Otherwise you will get a slow data transfer rate. Okay, so that is the thing. So let us go to the next slide. So next we will discuss latency. Okay, so the time it takes for a data packet to get from its source to its destination on a network is called latency. So data transfer rate will be impacted if one or more parameters have an impact on latency. Okay, so data transfer rate and latency have interdependent relationship that is reliant on the data transport technologies. So there are several factors that influence delay. These are path length of the packet's journey from its source to destination. If path length is more, it will take more time to reach to its destination. Then next is dependability and efficiency of network equipment. What type of network equipment you are use, how much efficient it is. If it is a new, if software is good, okay, then it is good. If you are using an old system, then obviously it will be slow. Okay, so these also influence the delay. Okay, next is number of gadgets that are expected to arrive at their destination. So this is a very important factor, that how many number of gadgets are there that are expected to arrive at their destination. So efficiency of each device employed in the data transfer process from source to destination affects latency at well. Okay, so this is all about latency. Okay, I hope you might have understood this thing. So let us go to the next slide. Okay, so there is one very important thing that I will discuss now. Okay, so at the end of this lecture I will discuss this thing. This is very important. Now we will go to the transmission media. Now what type of transmission media you are using, that also impacts a lot on the data transmission rate. Okay, so let us talk about optical fiber. Okay, now you might have seen in your broadband connection, like the service providers are using optical fibers. So using optical fibers will speed up the data communication. Okay, now if instead of optical fibers you are using coaxial cable, now there are various types of coaxial cable. Okay, that may also some coaxial cables may speed up your communication, some may slow down depending upon what type of coaxial cable you are using. Then again, if you go to twisted pair, that might be slow down your thing. Okay, so depending upon what type of transmission media you are using, okay, you have a great impact on data transfer rate. Okay, so that is the thing. One example is given here. Data transfer rate of USB 2.0 is 480 Mbps. Okay, but USB 1.0 is only 12 Mbps. So comparatively, data transmission rate for USB 3.0 and 3.1 are 5 GB per second and 10 GB per second respectively. So this is all about the data transmission speed. Okay, so now in this lecture, I think you might have understood like how what are the factors that impact on data transfer rate and why it is important. So I hope you understood these things. So we'll proceed to the next lecture, okay, where we'll discuss some more topics